The governor of Missouri is beefing up the National Guard in and around Ferguson tonight. He is trying to head off a repeat of the violence that broke out last night after a grand jury declined to indict police officer Darren Wilson in the fatal shooting of unarmed Michael Brown. Governor Jay Nixon ordered in 2,200 guardsmen, more than triple the number there last night. This is a live picture of some of those troops standing by. Representatives of the Brown family denounced the violence and the grand jury decision that sparked it. We have extensive coverage tonight, beginning with Michelle Miller in Ferguson.
The eruption was not immediate. After Darren Wilson's fate was known, there were cries of injustice, taunts, even bottles thrown at the force guarding Ferguson's police department. But then 2 hours in, when crowds overturned 2 squad cars and rounds of gunfire could be heard, police responded with warnings and volleys of tear gas. 12 businesses were burned, including this pizza takeout on North Florissant. The store manager did not want to be identified.
My question would be where were you? Why did you promise me that you'd be here to protect my workers, my crew?
Today, the man in charge of the Missouri State Highway Patrol, Colonel Ron Rapogel, admitted the police response was not what it should have been.
Last night was a disaster, and we're prepared to team up again with the National Guard, with the other local law enforcement, to address this tonight.
The National Guard was activated last week, but not enough were deployed to satisfy Ferguson's mayor, James Knowles.
The National Guard was not deployed in enough time to save all of our businesses. The decision to delay the deployment of the National Guard is deeply concerning. We are asking that the governor make available and deploy all necessary resources to prevent the further destruction of property and the preservation of life in the city of Ferguson.
Missouri Governor Jay Nixon, who just yesterday reassured business owners he would protect the community, said today there was a larger Guard presence than many people realized.
We certainly had guard at the command post, and as I said, later tonight we had guard at the Ferguson Police Department. But we will have more out there tonight.
Some blame the unrest on the timing of the announcement. It was released at 8 p.m., the time of day when protests have flared for weeks. Reverend Al Sharpton criticized the county prosecutor, Robert McCullough.
In a town that has been tense, in a town that has been forecast to have all kinds of problems, his solution is, let's announce it at night after dark.
Police made 61 arrests. Only 2 were from outside the St. Louis area. Pastor Robert White was on the front lines. He says it was his worst nightmare come true.
So who did it? The folks who were frustrated, the folks who had agendas that none of us agree with. We don't agree with the looting, we don't agree with the rioting, but I can understand that this community, this town, this country is a little upset right now.
And the social unrest here in Ferguson is having an impact in other communities across the river. Over in East St. Louis, a mandatory curfew is in effect for anyone under the age of 17 tonight. And Scott, the annual Thanksgiving Day parade in St. Louis has been rescheduled.
And after all of that, only 3 persons injured were admitted to hospitals last night. Michelle, thanks very much.